Welcome to the last in my series for Junk Journal July.
As you saw in the thumbnail, the journals are for the most part done. We're going to leave the little journal aside for a couple of moments, and we're going to talk about the big journal. These are internal folios, and they'll be stored in the sleeve until the internal space gets used up. And so we'll set those aside. I've given my friend a slide-in folio with a tuck space. We can put scrap paper here, whatever she wants. We can make this into a pamphlet binding, and she can keep supplier records or whatever she wants on that. It is on a flip up that just slides into this slit. Now, the front inside cover is a scrapbook paper that talks about notions and patterns and that kind of thing. The first folio, and this is dummy paper in this folio. I'm ordering her special paper. The first folio is her working folio, and she's a sock maker. She spent a year learning how to use her machine, and this is for her to keep her records on various projects, what the fiber was, how it performed, anything she has to do differently in her machine than she is normally used to doing. This is not unlike our master reference journal for paper making projects, in that this is now her master reference journal. Our Midori binding is all affixed down. This second folio, it's got dummy paper in it, is for a different type of record keeping, and it's up to her how she arranges it. And finally, on our last Midori cord, this is our French padded board. I made it for the smaller journal, and it's too big, it's too small height-wise for this one, but I think it'll be okay because she's only going to use it as a temporary holding space. As a decoration, I used a little bit of jewelry finding that I made a long time ago, and that's to remind her that we both got our start together as creators in a jewelry class in high school. And then you flip it over. I was able to make the channel work to receive the Midori cord, and I was able to use the magnets I intended to use, so this is totally removable. You do need, if you're going to glue magnets onto anything for a paper project, you do need super glue, in my opinion. This cord is only 1 millimeter cord, and when I ordered it, I was ordering it because I ran out of 3 millimeter. 3 millimeter cord is much heavier and much stronger, and she will let me know if 1 millimeter is not strong enough for the use that we're going to put it to, and if it's not, then I'll just make her another cover, no problem. So this big button, I'm not going to tell you what this big button signifies, but I'm sure if she's watching, she knows exactly what it signifies. But I did use a big button here as a sort of well, I had to pick the piece of scrap that wouldn't fit in there, don't I? All right, so that's just to hold things in. There's also another cord down here. All right. Now, let's go to the little journal. Oh, one more thing I forgot to say. The back page is the same paper that the front end paper is, but there's a special image on here that I hope that she finds to be a pleasant memory. Okay, now let's go to this little journal. I love this journal. I cannot tell you how much I love this journal. Front cover is made with handmade paper, denim, corners and spine as you've seen before. And you can see that it's pretty packed now, whereas the last time you saw it, it was not. And there are some reasons for that. Let's go through this. You've already seen the single pamphlet stitch folio that my friend can take out. I did add a piece of that cardstock that is in the big journal here as a very wide belly band, or I can just glue it down if she would prefer it, and it'll be a pocket. Then our multi-signature turned out fabulous, and I've left most of these pages blank. I put a book label here for her. I put in, just randomly, I put in a corner that can be removed, and the Midori cord goes through the middle of this book, so you never actually get to see. Right down here is that washi tape I used to camouflage the book. Then at the end of the book, I think, my hand's right on it. At the end of this book is a pocket with some ephemera in it for the recipient, as well as, if we turn this over, a paper clip, a hidden paper clip. I hope you can see this. A hidden paper clip with a dollar bill on the back. The reason that dollar bill is there is because this person and I had a conversation about quick measuring something. I actually, unbeknownst to her, was asking her to measure her purse. Well, she knew I was asking her to measure her purse, but it was because I wanted to make sure this junk journal could go with her. She's very picky about purses, and I totally understand. This is a piece of sari silk, which I have not had a chance to work with. I finally bought some after years and years of saying, just wait, just wait. I've pressed it because when it comes from the factory, it's in a skein and it's just wound into a skein. So I pressed it out a little bit, and there is a place to affix it, which I'll show you in a second on the spine, but right now it's just in here as a bookmark. This is the intention for this, is to be a bookmark. So let's just lay this aside so it stays out of our way. Then I have a flip. Well, this little belly band here is holding an envelope. So I have a flip. She can take the envelope off and do something else with it, or she can leave it there as a hanging storage pocket. There's a fair amount of bookboard, and I was careful about what I chose because everything in this journal that's printed, like the music paper, the book pages, are also doubling as writing prompts. So I have a couple of, I have a couple of pockets here out of book paper. This one is storing some coordinating ephemera should she want to use it. And then this whole thing tips down, and this is paper storage. This is cut to the size of the pages in the book, and you can just lift it out, and there's a piece of faux washi tape that has a couple of labels on it. This is all paper. So there's brown paper, there's some tracing paper, and the faux washi tape, and a couple of pieces of grid paper. So let's close the tip up. And because I didn't put a French padded board in here, I had to do something else. So this whole thing flips over on the Midori cord, and there are paper clips. This flips up, and this front is a torn paper front, but it's a layered torn paper front. And it is the front for a couple of accordion fold pockets with some ephemera in them and some paper samples, a note paper, for example, a note paper sample, so that she has the materials if she chooses to junk journal on the go. Say she's on the bus or she's waiting at the doctor's office, she can junk journal on the go very easily. However, this, wow, I did this so well, I don't know how I put it on the cord. Oh, I know. This is a permanent. Did I make it permanent? Yes, I did. This is a permanent piece on this journal. And in order to make this journal a little more transportable, she can take this out and store it in her case, and only use this as a travel journal. So now it's very much fillable. Or she can do the opposite. She can take this out and, oh, another pocket here with ephemera. She can take this out and make this her travel journal. Now I gotta find the spot where the cord goes. Right here. Is it right here? 1, 2, 3. Wow. All right, we're gonna pretend and we're gonna put it in right here. And if she takes out one of the folios, she has a spare cord. She has a spare cord in the middle. So now, if she wants to junk journal on the go, you can see that it is much thinner. Did I say that I love this book? I love this book. Handmade paper, and this is already, believe it or not, this is already even softer than when I glued it down. Handmade paper takes on the feel of suede, very soft suede. So that's another reason to love this book. I am not going to seal these outside covers because I want, my hand oils are already all over it, but I want her, the handling of this book, I want her to feel that. So that is the 2 journals for the Junk Journal in July challenge, prompt challenge. Now let's see how we did in terms of which prompts we hit additionally other than our 3 guiding prompts. Oops, one more thing, forgot to tell you. On the top of the spine here, I put a jewelry finding, a bracelet end piece for flat bracelet work like beadwork or cord weaving or what have you. And it has a little raised loop right here where I can thread that. Sorry, silk. I'm going to probably just hand stitch it together in a pleat and sew it so that it will hang in as a bookmark. I don't think I'm going to decorate this though. I think I'm just going to leave it what it is. Sorry, silk. On to those prompts we were talking about. Our guiding prompts were gratitude, pause, and nostalgia. And I talked about why I chose those in the very first episode. But let's see what else we hit, accidentally or otherwise. We hit number 2, pop of color. You didn't see it in the little journal, but all of the tops of the 3 compartments in the accordion fold had brightly colored washi tape on them. A red,
a yellow, and a blue for primary colors. We hit number 23 with overlap and number 15 with tucked away. Number 8 with brown paper and number 11 with paper samples. Number 14 with torn and number 19 with interactive. And of course number 22 with pockets, both in the accordion fold and scattered throughout the little journal. Number 28, upcycled. I'm going to leave that up to your discretion or your opinion whether we hit that prompt or not. All of the paper that covered all the coverings for the little journal were made out of recycled paper and made into handmade paper. And number 18, we hit a home run on. Details, details, details. The little journal is chock full of details. But the big journal is not without its own particular details in that it is a custom-made junk journal for a sock maker, and we had to go over the details of how we wanted to construct this master reference journal for my sock maker friend in advance. In gratitude, which is prompt number 17, I'd like to thank megjournals and GetMessyArt once again for co-hosting this prompt challenge for junk journals in July. I'd like to thank the 31 daily demonstrators who signed up to show us an inspiration based on each prompt every day in July. And a special thanks to Le Cafe Craft, otherwise known as Patricia, who keeps me laughing, who teaches me astounding things about paper engineering and, like me, has a real affection for craft paper. I haven't been very specific about who these journals are for, so let me tell you about these two ladies. You may have heard me say that the big journal goes to my best friend from high school, and that's true, and that she is a sock maker, and that's also true. But when we met, our first class together was a jewelry making class. She made jewelry. I made tools. You needed handmade tools, custom designed to the way your hand works, to do lost wax carving. And I just kept making tools. Okay, but who is the little journal for? The little journal is for my daughter. She's a grown-up lady now, and she's busy with her own life. We don't live in the same town. But when she was a little girl, when she was actually, a teenager, preteen, she started doing what she calls scribble pictures, when in fact they were very detailed pictures, not unlike Zentangle drawings. And I've never gotten her to pursue that again. She also wanted to be a writer. So this journal gives her the ability to do one or both or neither. What I'd like to say to my audience, the viewers of the DIY playlist, the paper crafters, and the viewers of my case files playlist, who are true crime or missing persons people, thank you so much. Let me express my gratitude to you for allowing me to take a pause and do something that refreshed my soul and taught me more things about a craft that I'm always finding interesting possibilities for. That's all I have for everybody. And I'd like to thank the new subscribers, the old timers, those of you who drop in casually, and those who stumbled here because of Junk Journal July and wanted to see what I was doing. I appreciate you very much. You make my time doing these kinds of things enjoyable. And one more thing before I go. Since we're not quite at the end of the month, there's a couple more things I'd like to throw into a bonus episode from the prompt list that I found thoroughly enjoyable. God bless you, and I'll see you real soon.